now look at the Gamboa area, the town and surrounding area. Gamboa geographically is located on the Atlantic side of Panama. However, I say that because it's north of the Continental Divide, and it also is within the province of Colón. And even though it is located on the Atlantic side, it always has been considered and looked at as Pacific side. And that's primarily because of access. It's very difficult to get from Gamboa to the Atlantic side in that there's a dense jungle and Gatun Lake way in between it. There is road access and so forth to the Pacific side. The town was built near the site of the former village of Santa Cruz in 1911. And that was during the canal construction. And during construction, there were a number of camps and locations that sprung up near in that vicinity, both on the east side of the canal they were building, such as Gamboa, and on the west side there were a number of places that also were built. In 1936, the Panama Canal Company moved the dredging division from the town of Paraiso to Gamboa. And part of the reason is that after construction was completed, the number of people residing in Gamboa dropped dramatically. And they didn't want to, they felt it was worth using the town and the facilities that were there. So one way they did that was to move the dredging division, and it actually was more centrally located that way. U.S. military personnel and dependents lived in Gamboa during the 1940s, due to the shortage of housing on local military bases. Over time, as the Panama Canal Zone government began to transfer operations to Panama in line with the 1977 Panama Canal treaties, some of the services offered in Gamboa were shut down. The most visible of those closures were the commissary and movie theater, which were boarded up throughout most of the 1980s. U.S. personnel continued living in Gamboa until the total withdrawal of U.S. troops from Panama in 1999. First location in the area is another TTC facility. It's called the Gamboa TTC Test Facility. It's located in dense jungle, and it was added due to the, finding it on the TTC map. Access is an unknown at this point because there are no major roads or anything out here. There was one road, and that was Pipeline Road, that started down here near Gamboa and ran up through the jungle and over to Gatun Lake. So it's possible they somehow had access off of the Pipeline Road, but unsure of that. If we look at attachments, you can see this is the location we're talking about on the low resolution 1969 view. And this is the location on the TTC map. Our next location is Pipeline Road. And I have pinned it here. It's near the beginning of the road. The road runs, as I said, from the town of Gamboa, and it's about 17.5 kilometers long. It runs to the shore of Gatun Lake. And this was reported by Alan King and Martin House. And Alan King made the comment that, well, it's a trail along the naval pipeline. And in fact, Pipeline Road was constructed during World War II by the Navy. And it's named that way because it parallels a section of the pipeline that runs from Arahan Tank Farm on the Pacific side, the Gatun Tank Farm on the Atlantic side. At this point in time, only part of it is accessible by vehicle, and the rest of it you have to do by foot. And it runs up and down hills and sharp corners and so forth. And it's all dense jungle the entire way. And now it's a very popular spot for bird watchers. They will come in and stay in the vicinity. There is a I guess they call an eco lodge or whatever in the Gamboa area. The Panama Range study states that Agent Orange was used over here in this Sovereignty National Park. So if we take a look at the attachments here, on our 1969 low resolution view, we're right over here. And this is at the beginning, and it's hard to see, but you can faintly see part of Pipeline Road running here. And this is a Canal Zone map fragment, and Pipeline Road starts over here and runs, and the pinpoint is about in here, and of course it continues off the map. Another interesting thing on this particular map is that you can see the naval pipeline. It's coming here from the west side, crosses underneath the canal itself, and runs up here off of this map and underneath Gatun Lake in order to get to the Gatun Tank Farm. And this is a map from 1974 of Pipeline Road. And as I said, it starts down here in Gamboa and comes up here, and this is all jungle. And you can see even at that point in time how it curves around and goes up and down hills, comes over here to Gatun Lake and ends. And it's at that point that the pipeline was put under Gatun Lake. They dredged out a trench and ran that pipeline across there. And this is a photo from 1974 of Pipeline Road. And both this photo and the map were done by Robert S. Ridgely in October of 1974. Now, I mentioned the Agent Orange had been used over here, and that was in the Panama Range study. So if we look at the range study, this is actually an email about it, and they have a section in there, and it's entitled Other Interesting Aspects of the Range Study. And you know, they talk about chemical and biological agents that were used in other areas. And let's say, in addition, Agent Orange was reportedly used by the Army near Gatun Lake in what is now Panama Sovereignty Park. And, they point out that the study, which was for unexploded ordnance, UXO, was not, it was not within their scope to look at these things, but they uncovered enough information that further investigation is probably warranted. Okay, the next place, let me back it up here so you can see the entire thing. I'm talking about this loop. I have it pinned over here. And this is actually within what used to be a former Army reservation, and it was called Cerro Pelado, and this is the ammunition depot. And it was set up in September of 1938. And later on, the Army leased this the ammo depot to the Panama Canal Commission for their use, and that was possibly, I don't know, in conjunction with the dredging division, which was, transferred here from Paraiso. And it appears to still be used, and possibly by the new commission running the canal. And I'm zooming in because access may be a problem, because it does look like it is gated. Taking a look at attachments, you can see the loop of the ammo depot here in the 1969 low resolution view. On our CZ map fragment, you can see the loop, which is the ammo depot, and you can see they've also marked off the military reservation. And the date is unknown of this photo, but it was taken by the Directorate of Engineering and Housing. And this is one of the ammo bunkers on that's found in the depot. Next is the Gamboa Bridge area. And this was reported by Andy Scheffler. And you can see the bridge here. This is the town of Gamboa over here. And the original truss bridge was built over the Chagres River, and it dates from 1911. And they attached to it is a one-lane wooden roadway, which traffic can move across slowly. This is the only road connection to the town of Gamboa. I pinned this area. There's an antenna and a cleared area here. And before I leave this slide to look at the attachments, I wanted to mention that this is what this bridge is crossing is the Chagres River. And, at this point, in the construction and so forth, they widened and diverted the Chagres to make, this part of it as, a navigatable part of the canal. Now, looking at the low resolution 1969 image, we're looking right here. And here you can see the Chagres River coming down. And this is the part that, you know, is used as part of canal navigation, and it runs out here to Gatun Lake. And again, on our CC map fragment, the point I pinned is over here at this end of the bridge, and the area where they have it marked tower. And this is a photo taken by Edwin Armbruster in the late 1960s, early 70s. This is the town of Gamboa. The pinned area is right in here, and there is the bridge. Another photo, this date is unknown. You can see the bridge going across here, and the area I pinned is over here. Next, we have the Gamboa Prison. And this was reported by David Martinez. And David noted that, you know, he was particularly concerned about the area along the canal over in here. And this was the Canal Zone Penitentiary, and it is located right on the canal, as you can see. And it's still used as a prison today. I will show you some attachments. First, the low resolution 1969 view, and we're talking right here. And on the CC map fragment, we're right over here. Okay, this is another photo by Edwin Armbruster, taken in the same period, the late 60s, early 70s. And the pin is in here. You can see, you know, there is an area here that's being kept clear. Appears to have ship navigation markers up here for the pilot. This is a photo from the National Archives of the penitentiary, taken in February 1950. The penitentiary is over here. The pinned area is in here, and you can see, you know, this area was clear. I'm now going to move on to Madden Dam. Madden Dam also falls on the north side of the Continental Divide, and is also in the Cologne Providence. And it was built in 1935, and one of the primary reasons I showed you Chagres River coming down there through Gamboa and turning, and there was a problem with the Chagres in that they in rainy season, or, you know, different times there'd be a flood stage, and it would come down and affect Gamboa, and also the put a lot of pressure on the navigatable part, and also on Gatun Lake. So part of the solution was to put in Madden Dam. Also, water from the reservoir from Madden Dam is used to generate electrical power, and also to supply Panama City with some fresh water. So we have one pin up here, and this was Andy Scheffler, and Andy said he was particularly concerned about the area around the tourist observation area, which is this area up here. The dam itself is down here, with the reservoir back here in the river. So if I pull out some. The Chagres continues running down there, and if I pull out enough, we can find it running down here to Gamboa that we looked at earlier. Let me get back. Again, it's the area itself is an area of dense jungle. Looking at attachments on our 1969 view, low resolution, we're looking right here at this point. And another photo from Edwin R. Brewster, taken in the same time period, late 1960s, early 70s. This is a photo of the observation area.
I'd like to thank veteran Richard Wyman for putting together all of this information on possible places to test in the Panama Canal Zone. I'd like you to all come over to the Military Veterans Advocacy and join with us today. We are further than we have ever been before. We have a rulemaking request that's been granted by the VA Secretary. We have an HR 5026 bill for Panama introduced into the Congress, and we could not have done that without the Military Veterans Advocacy and the leadership of Commander John Wells. There's also a ton of information under the Veterans of Panama Canal that we have submitted to the VA Secretary who granted our request. So this information might be able to help you in your claims. And if you need help with an attorney, if you're at the appeals level, use our contact button and contact our administrative staff and they can guide you for help.